Help me reach 2,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. When she told me she'd be working late again, I didn't argue. It had become a pattern: late nights, sudden urgent projects, and a new perfume I'd never seen before. I wanted to believe her. I needed to. After all, 3 years of marriage couldn't just turn into lies overnight. Right? But lately, something about her eyes felt distant, her touch colder. She'd come home past midnight, smelling like hotel lobby perfume, hair neatly brushed but eyes tired. When I asked how her day went, she'd smile weakly and mumble, "Just work, Jason. You wouldn't understand." First, I thought I was overthinking. Maybe I was being insecure. But the truth has a way of whispering before it screams. Last Friday, she left in her navy blue blazer, saying she had a client dinner. I kissed her forehead and said, "Don't stay too late." She nodded, barely looking at me, her phone buzzing in her hand as she left. I stood by the window watching her car disappear into the night, my chest heavy with something I couldn't name. Hours later, as I sat in the quiet living room, the clock struck midnight, and my phone lit up. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. "Jason," a woman's voice said. "This is Amanda, Richard's wife." Took me a second. Richard, her boss. "I don't mean to intrude," she continued, her tone trembling between anger and pity. "But you deserve to know the truth." My heart started pounding. "What truth?" She exhaled shakily. "Your wife isn't working late. She's with my husband. I just followed them to the Crescent Hotel." For a moment everything stopped. The ticking clock. My breathing. Even the world outside seemed to go silent. I wanted to deny it, to believe she was mistaken. But Amanda's voice was steady, heavy with pain. "I'm sorry, Jason. I thought you should know." I thanked her, or maybe I didn't. I honestly can't remember. My body moved before my mind did. I grabbed my keys, left the house, and drove through the empty streets, headlights slicing through the darkness. Every red light felt like a test of patience I no longer had. My hands trembled on the steering wheel. My mind played images I didn't want to see: her laughter, her perfume, her distant eyes. And when I reached the hotel parking lot, her car was right there, parked neatly beside a silver Mercedes. I sat there for a moment, gripping the steering wheel, staring at her car like it was proof of a crime. My chest burned, but my hands were ice cold. The thought of walking in, of seeing what I already knew in my gut, felt unbearable. But I couldn't turn away, not this time. I stepped out, walked toward the hotel entrance, my reflection flashing across the glass doors. Inside, everything looked too calm: soft music, a smiling receptionist, people sipping drinks under dim light. I moved past them like a ghost, scanning the hall until I saw her. Emily, my wife. She sat across from her boss, Richard, her hand resting over his on the table. They were laughing, close enough that anyone could mistake them for lovers. She wasn't wearing her wedding ring. For a moment I froze, unable to breathe. The woman I'd built my world around looked happier with another man than she had with me in months. I turned before she could see me, every step back to the car heavier than the last. When I got home, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat in the dark, waiting. At 1:43 a.m. she finally walked in. Her hair was messy, her lipstick faintly smudged. She smiled faintly and said, "You're still awake?" I wanted to tell her everything, to shout, to demand the truth, but all that came out was, "How was work?" She hesitated. "Exhausting. We had a meeting with the clients that ran longer than expected." I nodded slowly. "At the Crescent Hotel?" The color drained from her face. Her bag slipped from her shoulder. "What did you just say?" I looked straight into her eyes. "Amanda called me." Silence. Then her lips parted, but no words came out. The truth hung between us like smoke, visible, heavy, impossible to ignore. Finally she whispered, "Jason, please, it's not what you think." But it was exactly what I thought. I stood up, feeling something inside me break loose, something that had been chained for too long. "You lied to me," I said quietly. "Every night you came home late, every story about deadlines. It was all him." She reached out, tears forming, but I stepped back. "Don't," I said. "You chose him. So live with that choice." She cried, begged for a chance to explain, but I walked past her into the guest room and shut the door. For the first time in months, I slept soundly because I knew the truth. Morning came like a quiet punishment. Sunlight spilled through the curtains, too bright for a house that had lost its warmth. I could hear her in the kitchen, pacing, crying softly. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. But then the images from last night came flooding back, and the pity turned to anger. When I walked in, she looked up with red, swollen eyes. "Jason, please," she said, her voice trembling. "We need to talk." I poured myself a cup of coffee, keeping my back to her. "You mean you need to explain?" I said. She swallowed hard. "It started a few months ago. He was just kind to me. You were always busy, always distant. I didn't mean for it to happen, but I felt seen again." I turned, finally meeting her eyes. "So you fixed that by sneaking around with your boss?" Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I made a mistake. I ended it last night, Jason, I swear. I realized I couldn't lose you." I let out a bitter laugh. "You didn't end it because of love, Emily. You ended it because you got caught." She tried to take my hand, but I moved away. "You've spent months lying to my face, and now you want forgiveness overnight? You can't cheat your way back into someone's heart." For a long moment she said nothing, just stood there staring at the floor, trembling. Then she whispered, "What are you going to do?" I looked around, the house we built together, the framed photos that suddenly felt like strangers smiling back at me. "I'm going to do what I should have done the moment you stopped choosing me," I said quietly. "I'm leaving." Her knees gave out and she sank to the floor. "Please don't. We can go to therapy, start over, Jason, please." But my heart had already closed its doors. "You should have thought about therapy before the hotel," I said. I packed my things in silence. Each folded shirt felt like a goodbye. Before leaving, I placed my wedding ring on the kitchen counter. She watched me from the doorway, her face pale, hands trembling. "Goodbye, Emily," I said softly. "I hope he was worth what you lost." Her sobs followed me out the door, echoing down the hall, but I didn't look back. Weeks later, Amanda texted me. She'd left Richard too. Two broken people connected by the same betrayal. Funny how truth can destroy and heal at the same time. And as I stood outside my new apartment that night, feeling the cool air against my skin, I realized something. Sometimes walking away isn't the end. It's finally the beginning.